So in this video, we're going to look at ChatGPT and Google Gemini and see what AI creates the best, bold and easy colouring pages without even having to pay $1. So these bold and easy colouring books are flooding the Amazon marketplace and making thousands every month. But did you know that you could create your very own bold and easy colouring pages for free using AI? So let's get going. We're looking at ChatGPT versus Google Gemini because these both have a free option where you don't even have to pay a penny. So just in case you're watching this in the future, at the moment we're using ChatGPT Plus, which uses GPT 4.0, and 2.5 Flash on Gemini, which uses Nano Banana. So in this video, we're going to use both AI platforms and see which produces better colouring pages. So we're going to focus on the bold and easy style for this video, and they tend to look like this. So you've got beautiful, hand illustrated, very cutesy, with bold lines. And as you can see in the end, this was made very popular by the likes of Coco and Jade Summer. So what we want to do here, without infringing on any copyrights and trademarks, is we want to be trying to recreate some of these types of colouring pages for ourselves. And so in this video, we're going to find out which is the better platform. Is it ChatGPT or is it Google Gemini? Well, to decide that, I've got a rating system. And we're going to be looking at quality, accuracy, and inconsistencies. So with quality, it's around how good the final output is. With accuracy, it's how well it's followed the prompt. And then with inconsistencies, it's looking at, your usual AI blemishes, any additional fingers and those kind of things. So for all of these, I'm going to be rating them out of 5. So in this video, I'm going to do 3 prompts on GPT and Gemini and see which one has the better bold and easy colouring pages. So here is the bold and easy prompt 1. So I've done a bold and easy, cute and cozy colouring pages with thick lines, hand illustrated, of bears at a picnic with tasty treats. Background has clouds and some bees buzzing around, no shading. So with GPT, this is the output. And with Google Gemini, this is the output there. Now, just to note that with different prompts, you're going to get different results, and you might want to try multiple times to get something a little bit better. But we're just going to focus on this output for now. So breaking this down, with ChatGPT, I think this is a really nice image. It's maybe a little bit simple compared to what some of the other books are doing out there. But in terms of quality, it's very high quality. You could maybe look for a little bit more detail in there, maybe some more fun elements. But in terms of quality, there's not really much you can say there that's not high quality. The accuracy, it's completely followed my prompt. It's got a picnic, it's got bears having a picnic, clouds, bees, so it's done exactly what I've asked for. And if I wanted it a bit more complex, you'd say that's probably on me for not including those elements in the prompt. I can't really see any inconsistencies here as well. So we've got a very strong start from ChatGPT, and I've given this image 14 out of 15. Comparing that to Google Gemini, this image isn't quite the same level in terms of quality. So for quality, I've given it a 3 out of 5. It has some really nice elements there where if you took it into Photoshop and retouched it, it could be quite a nice colouring page. But the thing that stands out here is the lines are different widths and you do have some inconsistencies and stuff like that. But in terms of the accuracy, it has followed my prompt. It's bears at a picnic, there's clouds and there's bees. But the reason I've given it a 3 out of 5 is due to the lines being different thickness and it not really looking that kind of hand illustrated style. And then in terms of inconsistencies, you can see there's a few inconsistencies. You've got the bold and easy lines not really been followed. And then you've got the bear holding what looks like another little bear, which is a little bit random and very AI-y. So this one has a 9 out of 15 rating. So round 1 definitely goes to ChatGPT. But looking at round 2. In this one, we want to do the same thing, but we want this to be cute forest animals having a Halloween party. I've also mentioned in here that we want a cute vampire bear, a pumpkin, and others having a fun time. So ChatGPT again made a very cute image, but it is quite simple. And then Google Gemini made this more detailed, but a very solid colouring page. For ChatGPT, I've put the quality as a 3 here. You might think that's a little bit harsh because this is a really nice colouring page, but it is very, very simple. And so that's why I've given it a 3 for quality. But in terms of the accuracy, it's followed my prompt, it's done what I've asked. It just doesn't necessarily have the party vibe that I've asked for, which is why I've marked it down to a 4. But again, for inconsistencies, it's incredibly good. If someone wants to print this and use it as a colouring page, I don't think you'd be able to tell it's AI, which is what we're looking for when we're looking at inconsistencies. So even though this is a little bit simple, it still gets a very strong score of 12 out of 15. Now going on to Google Gemini, this is a very pretty colouring page, and it'd probably be a bit more fun than the other one to colour in. But we were looking for a bold and easy style and not a line art style. So for that reason, I've knocked the quality down to a 4. It's a very fun, very interesting colouring page, but it didn't quite follow what we asked for because it's not got that bold and easy style. So accuracy, again, very good, but not quite bold and easy, so it's getting a 4. And then inconsistencies, it's not got many inconsistencies at all. And you even have things like a bat cookie and a ghost cookie there on the floor, which is really impressive. The only small inconsistencies I see are things like random lines on the trees, which is why I've knocked it down a little bit. So the overall rating for this Google Gemini image is 12 out of 15, so a very strong effort. And so what we're going to do for the third prompt is we're going to use an image as a base prompt in hope that this is going to help train the AI to create something a little bit more like what we're looking for. So for this prompt, I've said, using images as a reference, create a bold and easy, cute and cozy colouring pages with thick lines. And then I've used the same prompt as before with the forest animals having a Halloween party. So these are the 2 image reference I've used. And if you're using images as a prompt, you need to make sure that you're not using copyright or trademarked content. So these are royalty-free images, which is why I've used those. And that's why these aren't necessarily quite as good as a Coco YO or a Jade Summer colouring page, because they're just royalty-free images that are found on Creative Fabrica. So if you want to use images as prompts, you just need to make sure that you're not using trademarked or royalty-free content so you don't get into trouble. So I use these 2 images as a reference along with the prompt. And this is the output. So with ChatGPT, it's very similar to before, but you do have a bit more going on in the background. The only issue is that maybe it's lent a little bit too much into the images because we're not in a forest anymore, we're in someone's room with a laptop, etc. Whereas the Google Gemini, it's a very interesting colouring page again, but it's not really that bold and easy in terms of style. So rating these, ChatGPT, quality, I've put a 4. This is a very nice, cool, bold and easy style colouring page, but it's not accurate because it's taking a little bit too much from the images rather than following the text prompt. And in terms of the inconsistencies, you can see there's some random things going on. Like there's a fox with 2 noses and there's a mushroom in the corner that doesn't really make sense, and there's a cozy vibes that's cut off. So I've given it a 3 for inconsistencies. So overall rating for this colouring page, I've given a 10 out of 15. And then when we come on over to the Google Gemini version, I've given this a 3 out of 5 for quality. It's really nice. The matte itself at the bottom there is probably a bit better to colour in than the previous version. So perhaps there has been a little bit of improvement using the image prompt. But another thing that I don't really like here is the trees and the bushes and the lines don't go all the way to the edge. So you'd have to fill those in or crop it off if you wanted to use this as a colouring page. The accuracy, I think this has followed the prompt a lot better than ChatGPT. So really happy with the accuracy of the prompt. And as a whole, the image works really well. It's just not quite in the right sort of style. And again, the inconsistencies, there's a few random things there on the picnic blanket that don't really make sense. And the trees and the lines aren't going all the way to the edge. So I've given it a 3 out of 5 for inconsistencies. However, again, it's got a pretty strong rating of 10 out of 15. So those are 3 example prompts on ChatGPT and Google Gemini. But which was the winner? So ChatGPT, I gave 14, 12, and 10 out of 15. Google Gemini, I gave 9, 12, and 10. So if you're good at maths, you can see ChatGPT got 36 out of 45, whereas Google Gemini only got 31 out of 45. So for me, based on these prompts, if you want to go down the bold and easy colouring book style, ChatGPT is the better option for you. But I did learn a few things while I was prompting, so I'm going to take you through those now. It might help you to do multiple attempts to create one image. The likelihood is if you just do one prompt, it's not going to be quite right. So you might want to try adapting your text prompt. You might want to ask it to edit things after you've got, almost there with your image. So it's going to take multiple attempts to get one image exactly how you like it. But even then, even when the image is really strong and you're really happy with it and you download it, it's going to help you out a lot if you're using these for a colouring book to retouch them slightly. In an ideal world, you'd send these to an illustrator to trace over to make them all handmade and hand illustrated. But another way that you can do it is just take them into Photoshop, fix any blemishes, retouch any lines that are missing, all those kind of things to make it really high quality. And then my third and final thought is just AI is absolutely incredible. Who'd have thought a few years ago that we could create amazing colouring pages for free using AI? So yeah, all of the outputs weren't absolutely amazing, but this was just a quick showcase to show you ChatGPT versus Google Gemini and what's possible for this one single colouring book style. So if you're interested in creating colouring books, why not give them a go? Also, I want to know from your experience, what's your favourite AI tool? Drop them down in the comments below and let's get a discussion going. All right, thanks for checking out the video. Make sure to hit that like and subscribe button and I'll see you in the next one.